this is where they'd go to stay that you were the minimum standard. So you would be letting the administrative people go. You'd be
Alright.
keeping the head teacher, the guidance counselors, anything on this list you would keep. Everybody else would be gone.
So instead of looking for someone in the position of dean of students slash football coach, we should call him
Student advisor.
student advisor slash football coach.
And then that matches all the new criteria, plus it doesn't count against the district as an administrator. I think what they're trying to do is put together a package that everybody in the state of Ohio conforms to, and that's what they're gonna pay for. And they're gonna use monies to take care of kids to these kinds of groups, and administrators are not gonna be funded. You're gonna get one building principal that's funded, you're gonna get one superintendent that's funded, one treasurer that's funded up by this formula. If you had somebody that was gonna be like a lead teacher, which is in this formula, it could be that person. But you would have to actually move somebody down out of administration. They'd have to take a pay cut. This way, it would secure us in what we're, for the future.
Okay, but basically, what we need, this is kind of, who knows, hypothetical
Wow.
possibility. But right now, we're looking at concrete, because we need to move on this coach.
But this will work too. This person
All right, now,
can
can
serve
this
as a guidance
person
counselor
go
at the high school.
in the middle school? If, I say, we put Rich full-time AD, and then put this one, what we call student advisor slash, football coach?
Well, I'd have to look at it, first of all.
I'm just, looking.
You're
for-
the student, whoever it is, again, can't suspend, can't have hearings.
Right,
So it's.
I gotta ask, what input does Rich have in where he floats around in this thing? I mean, does he have input on that? I mean, we're talking about a human here.
Well,
What choices does
okay.
he have? Is this, we don't
Sunday
talk
night,
about this out here? or
we
something?
mentioned, and Rich just leveled with us, he said he has 2 jobs. And obviously, we're talking, it sounds like, possibly, that it could be split. And he said, if he was given his choice, he would rather go the AD route. So that's why I was just working that way and looking at this other way. And especially since the AD, according to the job description, we haven't had them coaching because of doing the evaluation and this kind of thing. But as I said, we need direction on how to go.
You'd have to rewrite those job descriptions.
Those job descriptions,
Everything that you just talked about, you'd have to rewrite the job description.
How does pay come involved with an AD versus what someone is now? as
Well,
far
the
as-
student advisor, if you do a student advisor and a head football coach, what they would get, they would be on the teacher's salary schedule with
something?
the head football supplement. If you had a dean of students, they would be on the teacher's salary schedule with a supplemental head football. So there's really no difference in that. They're still classified as a teacher, they're not classified as an administrator.
difference in job responsibilities.
Yes, significant. Because they're not allowed to evaluate teachers.
Who, who does? I mean,
The dean of students
Between the
cannot.
students and student advisor.
Well, it's different because they would be on different pathways. I would assume the other one would be working on administrative. Because if you put, let's say Brad's out of the office for some reason and you have a dean of students in there would be nobody in the office that could handle the suspension because they're not allowed. And again, the law was changed specifically so that wouldn't happen. They said, okay, we'll put assistant principals can evaluate and suspend so that you're not carrying the paperwork to somebody else to sign who has not been in the hearing of the student and heard the story. Because in the law, the student has a right to give their side of the story, but they're not giving it to the person who's signing the paperwork if the dean of students is hearing it.
Wouldn't you wait? to have
Well,
that
some things
meeting?
you can't wait for.
You gotta suspend right now if the kid screws up.
It depends on what they're screwing up doing. There's behavior which is immediate removal, and then there's other behavior you can wait on. I can't suspend. I'm the hearing officer for the appeal. So I'm just saying, from my standpoint, the student advisor, and if you want me to work on another one, but
Okay, I just
they
need-
still can't suspend or evaluate.
Basically, we just need direction for tomorrow night.
I have a question.
First off, this is a discussion of the board. There's a hearing for the public at the beginning, a hearing for the public at the end.
The
Right now,
public is
the- right
open to
now
be
the
able to
bo-
participate
right now
in
the
any
board's
discussion.
discussion.
Public is available to participate in any discussion.
Chair, no. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, basically, they asked us to come here for direction so that, as we were going with candidates. And because obviously we've taken the athletic director out of the mix.
Mhm.
And we were just looking for more.
Right. I'm recommending this route, the student advisor.
Is this what came out of the athletic committee, that Rick and Rich and Bill all decided this is the way they wanted to go? Yes, we
Well-
planned for the future, we said, this is the way we want, we've got candidates that can fit it.
I see, they have, Rick or Rich, I'm not sure which ones, I don't want to make.
They're both in
mention-
the athletic committee, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but one of the two brought up at the Dean of Students, and I hadn't even thought about
There
it.
was several other committee members that spoke of an open position such as the dean of students. So it wasn't just Rick and Rich talking about it. There's 4 teachers.
Well, the
on
reason
that,
we did is because when
former
we were
teacher.
looking through people's resumes, a couple of them were Dean of Students. And they had football coach, or had football coaching experience, and they could be a very viable candidate, but,
They could do this too.
okay.
This is something they could do also, because it doesn't include suspension or evaluation.
Okay,
Because it says here that they can be a teacher, administrative certificate, or licensure working on guidance certificate. This is the most flexible of the job descriptions, because it fits everybody. The other one has implications in it that are not good.
okay, now, with the makeup of the way our grouping is right now, where would this person go?
They would go in the high school, in the guidance office.
Okay, and then what would happen if, Rich goes full-time AD?
Well, I don't know. I don't
You
know what.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is if you're looking
would
for
not
the
take
flexibility.
This would not take the place of one of the high school guidance counselors, would they? Because this person would not be doing the guidance work that
Well, that, you could, we'd have to hire, obviously, another guidance counselor. If you didn't want this person to do that, they'd still have an office in high school, they would still be doing this job. So if you wanted to have 3 certified guidance counselors plus this person, then we'd have to change that. But this person, this is the flexibility that you could use for a head football coach without suspension and evaluation. Remember, this person, whether they're part, if they're dean of students or student advisor, they are going to be in the teachers' union. They're not,
Where did we get 3? I thought we've got 2 guidance counselors in the high school.
well, we're
This
talking
person
about
would be
putting a
third.
full-time guidance counselor in the elementary for those
Okay.
800 students.
Right.
Plus 2 in the high school, and 1
Right.
in the middle
And
school
one in the-
full-time.
okay.
So we're talking, so what,
Fred would go to the middle school, right?
Fred would stay in the middle school, and then we'd hire an elementary guidance
Okay,
counselor.
now, could this person be the elementary guidance?
Sure.
Be put in the elementary?
What we need to do is
I'm
look
just,
and see who the
biding
person is.
time, till something would open up. Because right now, we have such limited openings, and I'm looking.
Wouldn't you rather have your high school football
Oh,
coach if you
yeah.
hired one in the high
Ideally,
school?
yes, ideally,
Not in the elementary, not in the middle school?
ideally, yes.
Wouldn't this discussion be best if we had all of our administrators sit down and decide where these people should go? They've already got a taste of what the candidates look like, they could take something and make it work, instead of 5 board members sitting here not really knowing what would be
Well,
best.
see, this is the thing, we don't know the candidates until we have this, because we said, well, maybe if we had this, we could do this. If we, see, this is the thing, we haven't
Well,
really
We're
narrowed.
doing
again,
something.
I
Mhm.
suggest we do this, because that will cover it for now, and then once we see who the candidate is.
2 of our administrators have already spoken